Hi everyone. So today we have Fatima CP. So she's a doctoral researcher in Germany, and currently she is in Leipzig University. And uh, today we are not going to talk more about the science and all and PhD and all, but today we are going to talk more about the visa process and all because she has bring her family with her in Germany, and it's all on the dependent visa, and she has a child, and it's really good to hear from her, like how was her journey about to bringing a family and all, and visa process and all, because we really don't think to in that direction. But here we have an example, and it's really hats off to you, Fatima.
Thank
Hi,
you so
Fatima.
much. Hi,
How
and
are
thank you
you?
for inviting me to your podcast. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So, tell me something about your background. Like right now, you are a scientist in Germany and working as a doctoral researcher in Leipzig University. So, how you landed here?
So let me start with my high school.
Mm-hmm.
I studied in government school
Mm-hmm.
in Kerala near my house.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was not very studious.
Mm-hmm.
But I found really interested in studying physics
Wow.
because mainly I think I have two elder brothers. I am the youngest,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
both studied physics. They both
Mm-hmm.
are studied electrical engineering and electronic engineering. So they
Mm-hmm.
are from physics background, and they when I
Mm-hmm.
study from my home, they would always ask
Mm-hmm.
me questions related to physics. Oh, what is a capacitor? What is
Wow.
an atom? So I found it really interested to maybe to impress them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was that's how I started
Yeah.
my interest
Started. Yeah.
in
Thinking to
physics.
go with the physics. Yeah.
Yes, so
Mm-hmm.
then I did my bachelor's. I joined for a bachelor's in physics.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my bachelor's in physics from Sir Said College near
Mm-hmm.
my house.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, I wasn't aware about research as a
Mm-hmm.
career,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because I didn't know anyone who did research except
Mm-hmm.
like prominent scientists like Einstein or
Mm,
anyone.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, but
It
still
was,
I
yeah.
liked doing research.
Mhm,
I mean, I like doing studying
mhm,
physics, so I
mhm,
decided to pursue physics
mhm,
more.
mhm,
So I applied for masters in physics.
mhm,
So I did my masters in physics from
mhm,
Assumption College,
mhm,
Changanasheri, which is also in Kerala. At
mhm,
that time, I got exposure to research
mhm.
because I used to attend many workshops and
Yeah.
seminars.
Mhm,
And then, yeah, I to know about different
mhm,
interdisciplinary topics that I can work with within
mhm,
physics. But at that time, I can't really apply for thesis project at other institutes. I can
mhm,
only apply at my
mhm,
college. So
mhm,
in my college, most of the professors are from experimental background, and
mhm,
at that time, I didn't quite like it.
mhm.
Within the theoretical background, there was this atmospheric science topic.
Wow.
That's how I jumped from
Physics to
physics
atmospheric science.
to physics to
Yeah.
atmospheric science.
Mhm,
And I did my thesis work in atmospheric science, and also Kerala floods 2018 that happened during
mhm,
this time. So I worked
mhm,
on this Kerala floods, and I quite liked it. So I
mhm,
decided to pursue that more and
mhm,
started looking for research opportunities across India.
mhm,
And I applied at different research organizations. There is
mhm,
this one institute in Bangalore. It's called International Center for Theoretical Science. It's a
mhm.
branch of TFR.
Okay.
So they have a program called VSR, LTVSP, that's
Mhm,
long-term visiting student program. So they
okay.
choose 12 students from across India to
Mhm,
do research for 9 months at ICTS. So I
mhm.
got into that program and
Nice.
I worked there for 9 months initially. And
Mhm,
then my tenure got extended. I worked there
mhm.
for 1.5 years. In
Wow.
between, I got pregnant.
Mhm.
So there is actually a funny story related to that. So
Yeah.
I
Mhm,
my tenure was until December,
mhm,
until November 30,
mhm,
and my due date for delivery
mhm.
was in December.
Hmm.
But when I was working on 28th of November, when I was working, I
Hmm.
got pain, delivery pain. So I
Yeah.
shut my window
Yeah.
of my
Laptop.
work
Yeah. Yeah.
laptop,
Yeah.
and then we rushed to the hospital and then
Hmm.
delivered the baby, and then mailed my supervisors that, oh, my baby who is supposed to come in December, he came early, so I won't be able to work for 2 days now. So yeah, that was there, but I really got good exposure to research at ICTS. And since I had baby at that time, I took a break for two
Hmm.
years, but I wouldn't call really a break because I was doing some other kind of work, like I was teaching online
Hmm.
physics and solving problems in physics and
Hmm.
other things during that
Hmm.
time. And after that, I wanted to come back to research.
Hmm.
So I started applying, and then I joined Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, as a
Yeah.
project associate.
Hmm.
But due to personal reasons, I had to quit that job.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then I came back home and
Hmm.
started looking for PhD positions abroad. And that's
Wow.
how I ended up in Germany at
Hmm.
Leipzig University.
It's really good. It's really good you are here, and yeah, it's quite good that you how you develop your interest in physics, and then you develop your interest in applied physics, atmospheric science, and then yeah, you managed everything. Like you was also got engaged somewhere at some point. I don't know where, like in during your masters or during your bachelors, and like you had a marriage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you was you had a marriage in
After my master's,
okay, after
before joining ICTS.
okay, and then you also got pregnant and you delivered a baby during this research. Yeah, it's
Yes.
really nice to hear this story. Yeah, and it seems that you are like passionate about your work, and as well as with your family, you are aligning everything. You are trying to make everything like in a like good direction. Yeah, and right now you are here in Germany with your family. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good to hear these things. So, and you, as you said that you landed in Germany, but definitely it was not the only case for you, because if you have like if one can think to apply the PhD position in abroad, then definitely he or she should have the different should try to different options, right? Different countries and different projects and all, and different PhD positions. Yeah, so you was also doing the same, if I'm not wrong. So could you tell me more about like where you have applied and how you choose particularly the Leipzig University in Germany?
Yeah. Okay. So at that time, I didn't quite think about a particular country as Germany as such,
Mm-hmm.
because, as I said, I was already sure that I want to bring my family, and my husband was supportive. So he was ready to quit his job and come with me. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any country restriction as such. So I was
Mm-hmm.
only focusing on the research topic mainly, and if there
Mm-hmm.
is funding possibility. So if the
Mm-hmm.
research topic is something that interests me, if
Mm-hmm.
I get to learn new skills and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, if the research group is nice, do they
Mm-hmm.
produce some good work, and then also if the funding is good. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, I applied without any
Yeah.
restriction to any country.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
applied to all the countries except, I would say, US and Canada, because I felt that's too far
Mm-hmm.
away from India. But I
Mm-hmm.
applied at all the other places.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
yeah, so is there any specific reason to select the Germany? Is there something like it's aligned with your research interest or something funding and all? Is that
Yeah,
so?
I think I mean everything came together for this position in Leipzig University with regards
Mm-hmm.
to funding, because it is fully funded. The
Mm-hmm.
research group, the supervisor is really nice and very supportive,
Mm-hmm.
and also the project is really nice, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's why.
Yeah. So in which project you are working?
It's called AC3.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to hear more about it?
Yeah, maybe if you are comfortable, then please share a bit about the your
Yeah.
PhD.
So it's to understand why there is Arctic amplification. So
Mm-hmm.
the Arctic region is warming much faster than the rest of the world,
Yes.
and I want to know why, how does aerosols contribute to that? So
Mm-hmm.
how many of the aerosols are transported from mid latitudes, like from India and other
Mm-hmm.
region, to the
Mm-hmm.
Arctic,
Mm-hmm.
and how it
From
affects
tropics
the
or from
Arctic
tropics
climate,
to or from mid latitudes
mid
to high.
latitude to
Yeah.
the Arctic,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how it affects the Arctic
Mm-hmm.
climate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that I for that I would use satellite data, observations, new climate modeling, and some
Mm-hmm.
machine learning tools.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice. And as you said about the family, support from the family, so like when you have decided to start applying the PhD position in abroad, and first time you tell your in-laws, or first time you have a discussion about this with your uh, like with your husband, so how was that reaction and how supportive they are actually? Because at some point people are thinking to, it's not going to be like if someone like women are thinking something about this in India, definitely it's the case, but it's really the bad thing to suppress these things, the women and all. So but it's really good to see you here. And so what was that situation during that time? Because maybe it's going to be help to other women who was thinking at that time. So was what was the situation for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important for you to have a strong social circle of
Mm,
people who supports you. For
mm,
me, that was the case. I mean,
mm,
they all knew that how passionate I am with my
mm.
research.
Yeah, with my yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
so they were all really supportive, and
mm,
as I said, like my husband was ready to quit his job so that I
mm,
can pursue my dream. And
mm,
same with parents,
mm,
they wish I was there with them, but they
mm,
also want to see me happy and grow. So
mm,
yeah, but yeah, I am really blessed with good people around me.
mm,
I would say that really matters a lot.
It's really good to hear. And so, what was the support from the university? Because it's also the some kind of responsibility towards the, I would say, towards the university or towards your professor, because like hosting a one like
Mhm.
one colleague or one employee for the PhD, it's like a normal thing, but hosting a family for the country as well as the university is quite difficult. So how was the support from the university?
Yeah. So I would say soon after I got selected for this position, for this PhD position, I communicated with my supervisor that I am interested to bring my family along with me. So he and the university was really supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Like he also said that there are options to work from home. You can choose to work from home whenever you want. And also he inquired with the university to sort of
Mm-hmm.
know how I can bring. So
Mm-hmm.
the university was also supportive. I can bring my family, but
Mm-hmm.
but there aren't many people who brought their family along with them during their first visit to Germany. So
Mm-hmm.
the university said that I have to come first, then only it will take at least 3 to 6 months to get the
Mm-hmm.
visa for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And my supervisor said told me that that is the
Mm-hmm.
case, so maybe you have to come first, and then after 3 months you can go back and then work from home from
Mm-hmm.
India and then
Mm-hmm.
bring them together if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's really sweet and really
Mm-hmm.
supportive. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I know the like you also have contacted me during that time. We also had a discussion about this, and it's really good. But I think that was not the case. But what you said, like you said that come here first and then bring your family after the 6 months. But you managed to bring along with you, right? So how was
Yes.
that? How it changed?
Yeah, so I didn't know. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
biggest challenge for me with the visa process because nobody did that before. So the university didn't know, supervisor didn't know. So when I asked my friends who are already in Germany, they all did it after coming to Germany. So the person who got the employment would come first and then bring the family later.
Mm-hmm.
But then I tried to go further into it. I used to call the visa embassy, the
Mm-hmm.
German embassy, the VFS, and ask them like if it is possible. It's a bit difficult to get connection from them. Like
Mm-hmm.
there is two ways to call the to contact the embassy. One you can call, but there is a fixed period of time when you can call. that's I think around 2 hours or so every day. So
Mm-hmm.
lots of people call at that time. So it's difficult to get connected. But once you get
Mm-hmm.
the call, they are really nice people. They clear your doubts.
Mm-hmm.
So the when I asked the German embassy, they told me that, oh, you can apply since I have work visa. That's
Mm.
important. I have
Yeah.
employment visa. It's not
Yeah. Yeah.
student visa.
Yeah.
So if I'm applying for employment visa, I can bring my family along with me. It's
Mm.
not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So they assured me and also told exactly which visa should I apply
Yeah.
for my family. And
Mm-hmm.
then I applied at VFS for the
Mm-hmm.
same
Yeah. So
visa
yeah,
category. Yeah.
you was lie in the category of guest scientist visa, right? And
Yes.
for your family, you choose to apply for the dependent visa, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually,
So
there is
yeah.
three category of visa for bringing family. One is called
Mm-hmm.
spouse visa,
Mm-hmm.
when you come first and then bring your family. Like you are already in Germany, and after
Mm-hmm.
6 months, you are bringing your family. That's spouse visa.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is dependent visa, accompanying
Mm-hmm.
spouse and accompanying parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's for if you want to bring them together or
Mm-hmm.
within 6 months of your travel to Germany.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you have to apply for the second one, not the spouse visa, but the dependent visa.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different. There is different checklist for each.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the processing is different for both. So you have to really be clear about the
Yeah,
category
about yeah.
that you're applying to. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because the checklist of documents is
it's
different.
different. Yes,
Okay, so for your case, it's not the spouse visa, it's dependent visa,
it's
right?
dependent visa. Yes,
Okay, it's dependent visa, and yeah, so for you, it's like a guest scientist visa, and with that, you also have submitted all the documents with your like about or your family and all. So
yes.
let's discuss this like in a very detail, step by step. So how it started? Like first, you have to have a letter from the university, I think. So after that, what was the process? Let's start discussing step by step.
Yeah. So once I had all the document from the university,
Hmm.
as I said, I contacted the embassy and asked all the details and
Hmm.
looked at the checklist of documents that I have to submit and
Hmm.
prepared all the documents in that manner
Hmm.
and then submitted all the documents together. But
Hmm.
I so the main challenge was to
Hmm.
identify which category I have to apply. That
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
really difficult
Hmm.
for me to
Hmm.
know. Once
Hmm.
I knew that, it was quite easy because there is this website in for German embassy called Diplo. It has all the details. You
Hmm.
only have to look at the checklist and then prepare all the documents in that manner and
Hmm.
submit at the VFS. And then
Hmm.
I got the visa in 2 weeks,
Hmm.
for both me and my family.
Hmm.
But the issue is, but I think there are certain documents that I submitted which was
Hmm.
specifically helpful to bring
Hmm.
my family together.
Hmm.
One is the letter from my supervisor.
Hmm.
So I got a letter from my supervisor that he supports. He gave me two letters. One
Hmm.
letter he says that he supports, he wants
You.
me to come
Yeah.
there,
Hmm.
come to Germany to
Hmm.
do research. Then
Hmm.
he also wrote another letter to
Hmm.
support the visa of my family for the dependent
Hmm.
visa. So
Hmm.
he really wants my family also to come so that I can work
Hmm.
better.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he wrote that it's
Hmm.
really powerful for
Hmm.
visa when if
Hmm.
you get a letter from Germany already
Yeah.
and who is in a professor or
Hmm. Yeah.
doctor title.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes, so that is one document. Another
Hmm.
one is personal covering letter.
Hmm.
So for the dependent visa application, you have to write a personal covering letter saying that why you are applying for this visa category. So
Hmm.
for my
Hmm.
case, I wrote it in a more emotional way. I told
Hmm.
that I really want my husband and my child
Hmm.
to come. My child is just 3 years old, so
Hmm.
he
Hmm.
really have to be with his parents. So
Hmm.
yeah, I wrote in that way. So I
Hmm.
think that was really helpful.
Hmm.
Third thing was the um, proof of marriage.
Hmm.
So along with marriage certificate, you
Hmm.
have to submit proof of photos,
Hmm.
proof of marriage, like photos from your marriage.
Hmm.
So I had actually prepared that, but I didn't submit it because at the VFS they told it is not necessary. But
Hmm.
then after when I after 1 week or so, I got
Mm-hmm.
an email from the embassy saying that I have to submit it. So I submitted it via email.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. And is there any specific document for your family or something that needs to be like, despite of having any kind of, like you said, about the visa, about the marriage thing, right? So you have
Yes.
submitted the documents, and despite of this, is there anything, any other document which you might have to give in?
Uh, yeah, I mean, there are other documents,
Mm.
but these are more specific documents. Like all the
Yeah,
others are, I think,
yeah.
birth certificate and other things, but you can find them online
Hmm.
in Diplo's
Okay.
website.
So I think the very important thing here is that, okay, so you don't have to show anything like accommodation and all about your stay in Germany, right?
No.
But what I know about that, if someone is um, asking or someone is requesting for any kind of dependent visa, if he or she is in Germany and asking for any dependent visa for their spouse or anyone who dependent, so they should have to prove that
Yes.
he or she has a space in Germany, in terms of accommodation, that he or she can accommodate that person, right? So
Yes.
but in your case it was not the case, right?
No, it was not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Not with accommodation nor payslip. I think if you are applying for spouse visa, you have to also submit
Yes.
6 months or so payslip.
Yeah,
I didn't
payslip.
have to do that because I don't
Yeah,
have them.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And is there anything like support from the Germany? Like, okay, the support is fine, is for the visa process and all. But after coming here in Germany, like what are the support one can expect from the German government? So right now, maybe you are getting some support, definitely, because like how long for you, like be here in Germany? It's around
Mhm. 8 months or so.
8 months or so. So definitely you had initially you had some kind of a struggle, right? About like how the things and all, because after coming here in Germany, you have to register himself or herself to the registration city registration office, and after that there are lots more thing to do. So how you managed to do that? Let's start like from when you landed here, and after that, what are the challenges? Maybe like
Yeah.
with an individual person, it can be manageable, but with the family, because you was not alone. You had your children and you had your like husband. So how was that?
Yeah, I would say the main problem was that I didn't know the language.
Yes,
German
German
language
language.
is really important here, and
Hmm.
I didn't have any time to learn
Hmm.
German
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I got the visa and it was really quick
Yes.
when I
Yeah.
came. So the main problem is that if you don't know the language, it's
Hmm.
difficult to communicate your needs. So
Hmm.
I had to find a housing. I couldn't
Hmm.
find a housing in the
Hmm.
beginning. So I had to stay at our friend's place for the first
Hmm.
week. Then we
Hmm.
stayed in a vige for 1 month. Vige is a temporary accommodation.
Hmm. Hmm.
I stayed there, shared accommodation for 1 month,
Hmm.
and then now I moved to this new separate apartment. So if you want to get accommodation, or also like for my child, I had to find a kindergarten to send my kid. Now the
Hmm.
problem is all the people in the kindergarten usually speaks German, and I don't
Hmm.
know German. So
Hmm.
I have to ask my colleagues, my friends who
Hmm.
speaks German, and then
Hmm.
they would call the kindergarten and ask
Yeah.
if there is space for a
Hmm.
new kid.
Children. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that was the most difficult part. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's not that easy to get a kindergarten here,
Hmm.
especially I wanted to place him in a kindergarten which is closer to my apartment
Hmm.
that I'm
Hmm.
staying now,
Hmm.
because so that I can travel to
Hmm.
office
Hmm.
quickly.
Hmm.
And I used to go visit this kindergarten and then
Hmm.
translate and tell that, oh, I
Hmm.
am working, I really need to have a space here, please, and I
Hmm.
would
Hmm.
visit them often.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
yeah, so it's a bit tricky if you
Hmm.
don't know the language, but
Hmm.
otherwise it's not that difficult, I think.
Yeah, but I think in a professional way, you are not going to have any kind of difficulty for the with the language, right? But
Mm,
definitely in general thing, no one is like no one is about that you are a scientist here or something, like you are a normal, you will be treated like a normal people, right? So in a professional thing, like in a university or something, you don't really need to have the German language, right?
Yeah,
What
I
I
mean, since
understood,
in
yeah.
the office it's
Yeah.
more an international group,
Yes.
so people speaks English.
Yeah.
It's only a problem when you have to communicate with other people uh,
Hmm.
outside of your office.
Yes.
And I have to do that more often because I have family. I have to make sure that they are safe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for kindergarten, then kinderarzt is pediatrician. So I should
Mm-hmm.
have a pediatrician for my child.
Mm-hmm.
We adults should also have a doctor for ourselves. So for all these
Mm-hmm.
daily life things,
Yeah.
it's a bit difficult if you don't know the language, I would
Yes.
say.
Yeah, and just for the information of audience, I also have to add. So there are some different kind of perks from the German government. Like if you are unmarried and if you are married, or like someone is dependent on you. So there are the different tax class, right? So you are definitely not lie on that tax class. So I think tax class one, tax class two, tax class three. So can you explain a bit more about that? And also, is there any specific fund from the government for the children or for the kids for kindergarten?
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Yeah, so first one about the tax classes.
Hmm.
There are many tax classes. Mainly the tax class one is for single.
Hmm.
Tax class two is for married people,
Hmm.
but with around same salary. So if me and
Hmm.
my husband has around same salary, then there is
Hmm.
tax class three,
Hmm.
where one is earning more and the other one is earning less. And
Hmm.
there are many others too. I don't have many knowledge about
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the people who is in tax class one has to pay more tax than the other people. So
Yes.
since I have my family, I have to pay less taxes. That's a
Hmm.
benefit.
Yeah.
Another one is that there is something called Kindergeld.
Hmm.
So each month, the government gives you around 250 euro for your
Hmm.
child's benefit.
Hmm.
You can use it for the
Yes.
kindergarten and
Hmm.
buying things for your child. So
Hmm.
that's a really good thing from the that you receive from the government.
Hmm.
Then if you come on spouse visa, your automatically your partner is eligible to work. They
Hmm.
it's equivalent to a job visa. They are
Yes.
eligible to do job, and
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
they can apply for some courses.
Hmm.
I didn't use that, but
Yeah,
there
in the
you can learn
university, yeah.
German,
Yeah.
yeah, German language course.
Hmm.
You can
Hmm.
take them from for free and also
Hmm.
subsidized
Hmm.
price.
Subsidized rate, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's are the support from the German government, yeah. And if like you are a scientist right now, you well settled here and everything is fine, but at some point you was also something like kind of not very sure in your career, and also it's really going to be when one can sit like when it was someone sitting in India at some place, and he or she is thinking, not he, for he it's quite easy, I would say, as compared to she. So if someone is seated in the India at some point and at some place and thinking to apply in Germany or maybe in other country in abroad, and also have a family, like as you have the children and husband, and so how, like what are the mindset you had that time, and if one can is really looking forward to applying this position and thinking to, oh, I'm stuck with my family and all, and how I can start or how I can pursue my career, and also what are the suggestion or what are the maybe some words you want to say for them so that they can also think, not stay behind, they have the also options as you had explored. So do you have anything in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that pursuing a career in research along
Mm-hmm.
with family responsibilities is not
Mm-hmm.
very easy, but it's so satisfying if you accomplish everything that you want,
Mm-hmm.
like family and also your passion.
Mm-hmm.
I would say don't give up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very important to have a social circle around you, be it from
Hmm.
your friends, be it from your family, like your spouse or
Hmm.
parents or anyone, and
Hmm.
also at the from your colleagues. Like
Hmm.
always, if you don't have a good social circle, try to build a good social circle, because I think that's really important to have a strong support system. And
Hmm.
also, don't refrain yourself from seeking help from people if you really
Hmm.
need help.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And if you look back yourself, so definitely this there was some moment where you feel proud because your journey is not too smooth. And so what was that? I would say there definitely there are some okay. And also your family was really have us proud and all because you really did a really good great job, and I really hats off to you for this. But what
Thanks.
about you? Like, you also feel the same or at
Yeah,
some? Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I think I feel proud that I listened to my heart. So,
Hmm.
at some point, I also felt like it would have been much easier for me, right,
Hmm.
to pursue something in India where I
Hmm.
know the language, I know people,
Hmm.
I have my friends, I have my family, everything. At least many of the things are smooth,
Hmm.
rather than moving to a new country, a new place, along with huge family responsibility and this
Hmm.
strong career research.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's what I'm proud of, not
Yeah.
listening to my heart and not
Yeah,
giving up.
it's really good to hear. And actually, what why we have concluded with this podcast is because I think during your during your visa processing and all, you had a struggle, right? And you was really not able to find anything like informative or something at the YouTube or somewhere at any platform, right? I think we had discussed about this.
Yeah.
So that so we thought to have some kind of like discussion or some kind of guidance to go with that visa process and all. That's why we landed up with this podcast. But at some point definitely we might have not discussed everything in detail, but definitely there might we have given the broad overview, right? But if
Yeah.
someone have any kind of query, then he or she is really welcome to put his query in a comment section, and we both are going to help. And definitely
Yeah.
you really have experience, so it's really going to do you also feel the same?
Yeah, I do feel the same. I hope it turns out to be useful to people who
Yeah.
want to pursue PhD along with family and who is thinking about bringing if they don't have any idea. I hope
Yeah.
this video turns to be useful for them,
Yeah.
and also people feel motivated to work.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Really, really, it's important. So it was nice talking to you. Thank you, Fatima, for accepting my invitation. Thank
Yes,
you so
thank you
much.
so much for inviting me too.
Yeah. Thank you. So have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.